Don't offend me.
I bet you love man buns.
I had a crush on on two guys that wore man buns before, so. Which I know, I found that weird too, right? Like, what?
Hello and welcome to Quackcast number 301. This is Drunkduck Quackcast. I'm Ozone Ocean, and with me is the amazing Mr. Baines. Hello, Mr. Baines, in your Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Hello.
Hello. And
I don't know what that was. I'm sorry.
And the incredible Ms. Pitface with her Technicolor chainmail coat. Hello.
Hi, baby, what's up?
Miss Pitt.
I don't know, I couldn't think of anything else. Fuck, just go.
How you doing, baby? I remember that voice Pitt did a long time ago. She told us about that lady. That lady! Yeah. Who, she works at a cafe or something you go to. So how you doing, baby?
Oh, God, man, I love that woman. I hope she gets everything she wants for Christmas this year.
Including snow.
Oh, yes. Including... I was going to... You're a master of segue. Beautiful.
Oh!
Well done.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. So we're talking about snow, which is Baines' topic from a few weeks ago. He was talking about... You were talking about snow scenes in comics. And the feeling, the meaning of snow, the symbolic meaning of snowy weather, which is timely because it's almost Christmas and it snows in the northern hemisphere where you guys reside.
Yes.
It's bizarre to me because Christmas should always be sunny and hot. That's how Christmas should traditionally be. But, you know, each to their own with your bizarreness.
But then why would Santa wear that outfit? It doesn't make any sense.
Fashion. Wales. It looks cool.
That's a good point.
It protects him from the dingoes.
Yes. That's important, yeah. When he's, you know, riding on his sleigh with the kangaroos pulling him, you know, and as if
It's delightful.
But first, we have to get in and do a featured comic. The featured comic was done by Kawaii Gakse, and she gave us a comic called Boys Land. Take it away, Kawaii, with Boys Land. Ooh.
Hello, this is Kawaii Gakse, and the comic I'm featuring for this week is Boys Land by Boys Land Crew, and it is rated T for teen. Marco still lives at home with his mother, but that does not stop him from entering a world of adventure complete with larger-than-life creatures. Along his journey, he comes across a fighting lion named Leo and a really aggressive chicken. It almost makes sense that he never leaves home without his bat. Also, the name of Boys Land is misleading because there is a girl inhabitant who lives in this world, and her name is Tatiana, and she works as a detective. Boys Land is drawn in a black and white manga style that is read right to left. The cover pages of Boys Land, as well as Boys Land and the Bandit Heist, were drawn to enter a contest for shonen manga. Enter into the magical world of Boys Land and read Boys Land by Boys Land Crew, rated T.
And that was Kawaii Gakse with Boys Land. Boys Land. Which is a
oh, boy!
Oh. No, you should say, oh, boy. Make it sexy, James. Come on.
Can't. I'm not sexy. Oh, boy. No,
Think of Dolly Parton.
Oh, we're...
Think of Dolly Parton.
Oh, boy, sweetheart. I tell you, darling.
So, our music for the week is, of course, by the amazing Gumwallace. And Gumwallace has given us the theme to Man Bun. Man Bun. And this music...
Bun.
this particular theme he's given us is bass-driven. God, that word. It's spelled bass.
2017 is going to be the year we teach you how to pronounce bass.
The year of the bat. Bass-driven funk rock with dark, chocolatey, bluesy lyrics. Classic rock, cool and hot. So, take it away, Mr. Gun Wallace with Man Bun. Well, that was Mr. Gun Wallace with Man Bun, and this is a comic by Nicolette Karras, and it's about a guy with the bun who becomes part of a band, a girl band, and they want to be just a girl band with a girl singer, but they pick him because basically the leader of the band...
Girls don't play instruments.
That's crazy satire.
The leader of the band has a crush on the guy with the man bun, just like Pip. So yeah, man buns are incredibly attractive.
This is actually the first time I've ever told anyone that, so it's like I feel like I'm kind of like coming out of, in a sense, on the radio. Like, yeah, man buns. Sorry, Mom and Dad, forgive me, but this is who I am.
Black Guy's Confessions.
No, there's just a couple guys. It's not like a thing. It's just continue on to cast, please.
Continue on the cast. So, Snowbanes, Baines, why did you come up with this topic? Was it just seasonal? Or
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to get a man bun going. I don't think it's an option for me anymore.
I could do it, but I'd have to kill myself. So. That's the last resort.
Just before man bun.
Well, I was thinking about an old Simpsons episode, the Mr. Plow episode, for anyone who remembers it.
I love that. The
oh,
Plow
yeah.
King.
I remember the impetus of that episode, if I may use the word impetus.
Oh, yes. There's a paucity of impetus on this podcast.
Nobody gets what we're referencing either, man.
No, that's true. Yeah, that's right. The setup was
we think we're fucking hilarious, man, but nobody's like...
Yeah, people are like, none of it makes any sense. I'm turning it off. Yeah. But sorry, we were talking about people being overly verbose and, you know, sesquipedalian when they're on the radio. Is that the right word? I don't even know. Yeah, we were talking about people using unnecessarily big words, so that was what we were. Good catch, Pitt. But anyway, so the like for that episode, the writers, the guy who pitched it, who is, I believe, Conan O'Brien, actually, wanted to do, or the people who agreed to it, like wanted to do a winter show, but not based on Christmas, because they were like, whenever there's a winter story, it's always like with snow and stuff like that, it's always connected to Christmas. So they wanted to not do that. So that's how Mr. Plow came to be. That was in my mind. I was thinking back to that and thinking like, oh, snow. And then like, there's a couple of stories, a book or two that I've read, definitely some comic stories I've read that I really loved, and they really worked because of snow. And also the visuals of snow in comics, I thought was sort of something that I hadn't seen us talk about yet.
Yeah.
And yeah. So that's what.
The thing about snow in a comic, and this is what I found when my recent pages of Pinky Fiat snowbound, because I love it. The thing is, it covers the entire landscape in white, so you don't have to draw in a lot of the backgrounds because you've got all this.
That's true. It's a good point. Yeah.
So it's totally weird. And how do you really do features in the landscape when everything's snow covered? Everything sort of blends in and looks the same, and you have to use grey and pastel tones to really make things stand out. So it's all high contrast stuff. Maybe you've got dead trees or any of that kind of stuff. Yeah. So it's a weird thing because even the roofs of buildings have this white coating that matches the ground, which is totally different to...
Yeah, and it erases kind of any sharp edges kind of thing if there's enough snow. And you just have these sort of blobs, amorphous blobs.
And it's on everything, too.
So it can be kind of hard sometimes to, like as good as that is, like, hey, I don't have to do shit anymore. It's like, if there's things that you need to distinguish in the snow, that can be...
Yeah.
It can
difficult.
Be tricky.
It's funny you say that because, and sorry to interrupt you, but my initial thought was sort of the visual of snow in a blizzard makes it a lot easier. It makes it you can give it an energy really easily. Like people like Frank Miller and like some other comic stories I've seen and really liked have these distorted looking snowflakes. Mm-hmm. In a blizzard setting where everything's blowing around and it's kind of like, you have these kind of crazy shapes, huge snowflakes sometimes, like just lines of wind and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of the opposite of what you're saying, but you're right. If it's not a blizzard scenario, it can be a lot tougher.
Snow's got to settle down sometime.
It's a good point.
But even that blizzard scenario, though, that you're talking about, man, that could be, that's difficult too, man. How do you make the snow so it's not too overwhelming on the page or so that it's not awkward looking? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, there's definitely a style to it. I've seen it done and seen it work. I've never even tried doing it myself, actually. I don't think in a pick or anything, but that's a good point.
I don't think I have either.
But that's true. If it's constantly that, you still have to frame your shots and your panels and make it can't all look the same, or it'll just be a mess that people get tired of looking at, kind of thing.
It's funny. Also, you've got this thing where because I did a page that has snow falling, and you've got to try and make it not look too Christmassy or too fairy tale. You have to sort of do the falling blobs, but not make it look nice and friendly and jingle belly. So, it's tricky.
I did one comic set in winter, and I just thinking of this. It's a couple years, almost 2 years ago now, I think, and thinking again of that Simpsons show. I was like, this isn't a Christmas story. It's not even a winter story, but I'm going to set it in the snow because it's always just kind of blankly or blandly summer in my comic, just because that's the easiest go-to, and it's easier to draw T-shirts and coats and all that stuff. But I was like, I'm going to set this one in winter. So I, in every outdoor shot, I added the snow, and it was a Christmassy. It wasn't a blizzard. It was a gentle snow, and it really looked good to me. It added something, just that little extra.
Yeah.
It does look cool.
It's pretty.
It's pretty in rain because with rain you can't really.
Rain can go fuck itself.
Rain is thin, and you can see through rain a lot easier, but it all has to be parallel. You have to be more careful with rain, whereas with snow you just blow it any old place. There's massive snowflakes and just go crazy. But yeah, rain.
Oh yeah, because it does fly around like crazy, man. That's what it's like in real life. You know, where I am in Ontario, Canada, blows around like crazy.
Like the thing that I hate about drawing rain scenes is that like I'd be a lot more comfortable drawing a snow scene because those lines, not only do they have to be parallel, like you say, because I mean that is a big deal. Because if you have them going all over, it's weird. Like the brain stops registering it as rain pretty easily, and then it just looks like a bunch of chicken scratch shit you drew across your page for no reason, and it just trashes the panel when it's done wrong. So I'm not comfortable with that shit.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, snow is superior. Although I can only do it from what I've seen on TV and stuff because I've never actually been in snow that's falling. So
Wow,
it doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's so
in
weird.
The country where I've been anywhere in Australia that I've seen. So yeah, it's just not something that I can experience easily, unless I'm on top of a mountain or somewhere, like during a weird weather situation down south in Tasmania. It's just not something that happens. So yeah, I want to experience it sometime. So I'm not having third.
He's a little snow version.
I have walked in like frozen snow on top of a mountain, and that's as far as I've gotten, like super bloody cold, awful icy crap all over the ground. And that wasn't as fun as it looked.
That's like
TV.
hate snow.
It is. It's awful. And then I tobogganed down a mountain and went through ice, landed in water, and I got even colder.
Oh no, dude!
So that's my snow experience. Yeah, it's
wow.
But you guys must have it all the time. In the winter,
yes.
In Illinois and Ontario, you must have like real experiences of joyous, beautiful, soft powder.
Yeah, we've had sort of all kinds already this year. It's actually kind of all melted right now because it's kind of. We're getting some rain and some snow, and we've had the gentle snow where the sky is just sparsely filled with flakes, kind of slowly falling. It's beautiful.
Awesome.
Beautiful in comics, beautiful in real life. It's really a nice sort of mellow feeling, a calming effect. And we've had like pretty hardcore blizzard. One so far this year. And that's like pretty wild. Yeah. Now it's exciting, and it's sort of like, yeah. It's kind of cool to be in. There's an energy to it, and it makes everything tougher to do. It changes, if you're driving and stuff like that, obviously, or walking around. It's like that can be kind of awesome too, if you're dressed for it, kids.
Yeah. I've got all the furry hats. I'm ready.
Wear your toque.
Wear your toque. And your mittens. Yeah.
And your mittens.
Got to be prepared. Well,
but yeah, we have a lot, and it's crazy how it kind of changes the whole landscape and your daily routine. It's kind of like that's kind of neat.
Oh. What about you, Pete? Where you are? Have you had a bunch of it, or?
We have a little bit. We've had a little bit, and then we have some this morning. Oh, damn it! And it's like sunlight shit. But it's kind of like turned to ice on the ground.
Yeah, I like that.
So, like, it would have been melted, like, 40 days ago, but, like, no, because it's all frozen now into, like, one giant, like, pre-glacial ice sheet that's just full of bullshit, so.
Yeah, that's the only kind of experience, so. That icy, crusty crap.
Yeah.
Just cold. Well, yeah, it's all from memory, not from memory, it's all from like photos and TV for me, so I often wonder how accurate I'm being, or am I making, like rookie mistakes when I depict it and all that kind of stuff, so. I haven't done it often, But I decided in this latest chapter of Pinky Gay to set stuff in the snow because I've always wanted to do that. Always wanted to have a chapter.
That'll be cool, man.
Cool, yeah.
Snow. Yeah. So far,
Pink snow.
pink snow. Yeah, that's what's going to happen if there's a fight or something like that. But yeah, so far it's been interesting. You know, for the landscapes, I do like purple mountains in the distance. I'm not sure how to do the sky, whether I should always do it like grey and stormy or bright blue sunny or whatever.
Or just black.
Black.
Like the black nighttime snow. Dark blue, black.
Okay. See, this is the rookie mistake.
That'd be badass, man.
I haven't experienced this stuff, so...
No, the gray cloudy thing makes sense. That's kind of often what the sky looks like. But often you can't see the sky, obviously, if it's snowing enough.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Like you won't really make it out. Like when it's raining, you know?
Yeah, it sort of just disappears into a nothing kind of.
Well, I have no
I don't know if that's so true.
experience of that. I have to...
8, 1, 5, 7, 9.
Oh my god. It's happening.
The countdown, Baines. That was the countdown.
Get to the bunker!
You have to detonate your relatives immediately and fly to Dover. Wait.
Yeah.
There's not much time left. Should we read some of the posts that people have made on this?
Oh yeah, totally.
Because we can do our voices. Okay.
A
Oh.
little bit of voices.
Well, Mr. Gumwallace says... I've got to do a voice for Gumwallace. Gumwallace says... It's the first day of... Oh, God, I can't do a New Zealand. I can't remember all the vowels. It's the first day of simmer. Yeah? Sin, 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 and sin. That's Gumwallace being New Zealander. Alright. Bravo says... Mr. Baines? Oh, Mr. Baines is gone. Damn it. Okay.
The translation for that post is it's the first day of summer here. Sun, sun, sun. You made it sound like he was conjuring like Satan or something, man. So I mean, and I'm fine with that. But like, I just wanted to be sure.
How else are we going to get him here? You know. Well, you can do Bravo. Do him hard.
I'll do him hard. There was an ancient Peanuts where Linus paraphrased the old French Forward Legion motto of "March or die" when walking to school by putting a sign on his pack saying "Make school or die." Ever since then, that has summed up my relationship with snow. Do or die, stuck in the snow, changing a tire, walking and driving in white-out blizzards. Do or die. I have had entirely too many real-life adventures in the snow to ever, ever, ever want to write a story about it. Alicia's saying, "Fuck snow!" Actually, yeah, because doesn't he live on the East Coast?
He does. He lives in...
Oh, dude, they get, like,
Joycey.
fucking raped by snow out there, dude.
Oh, my God.
Like, the couple years that I lived there, I remember there was this one snowstorm. And they've had some pretty bad ones since, too. This was some years ago before I moved, but, like, it came through and it shut everything down for at least 1 to 2 weeks. Like, roads, like, all roads were impassable and, like everything just got buried in frozen sky, dude.
It's weird. It's like...
It was insane.
It's like rainfall, except the rain doesn't go away. It's just piling physically on top of itself.
It doesn't fucking know it's not wanted.
It's so bizarre. Well, Playmeyer says, I love snow. I hate driving in it because of idiot drivers shoveling it because I'm lazy that way. So yeah, Playmeyer.
Yes. Yeah, quite. Rather. Quite.
Sounds like those little, like, Pigman Minecraft guys.
You could do Kim Luster, Mr. Baines.
Alright. Kim Luster. I'm sorry, I was here. I was just getting some coffee, and I didn't realize my microphone was off.
Oh, that's
Apologies.
Apologize, Mr. Baines. Quite all right.
I cannot say thank you.
Bring it up in your performance review, but you know. Don't worry about it for now.
I love the snow. On the very rare occasions we get it, it is very atmospheric. Just makes some movies and scenes.
Okay.
I was trying to do Betty Davis for some reason. Just kind of.
That was fantastic.
The 98-year-old Betty Davis. The best Betty Davis.
Yes, the sexiest Betty Davis that ever is.
Of course.
Oh, she's such a heel. All right. Well, we have used books as well. Have you got a voice for used books, Petsy?
I do. Hey, Baines, who am I?
Okay.
Who am I? Well, there's a good thriller graphic novel called Whiteout. Oh, I can't do it! God damn it! Did you get that?
Away.
Ah!
I did. Yeah.
All right.
You need a couple of pillows to really make it.
I do. Wait. Hold on.
And this is exactly like the real used books. She is just the same.
There's a good thriller graphic novel called Whiteout. It's about a murder on an Antarctic base. Elements come into play as danger as well. But it's a much more interesting tale than just man versus the elements, and the elements add the extra danger on top of the murder plot. Snow has the added benefit of requiring less ink and printing, y'all. That said, no sneer here in Virginia. We've had the AC we've had the AC on for the past few days. The last long story arc of used books was set as a ski resort. Snow is useful for ski resorts and for cutting down people off the world. Wait. Snow is useful for cutting people off from the world. Okay. I'm not reading any of this right. I have fond childhood memories from WV. Settling into our home for a few days to ride out the blizzards. Sometimes, if we lose power, we have to wear our Technicolor dream coats. we have to snuggle close for warmth. Sometimes we lost phone service. Once we got snow into a hotel for almost a week. A city barren of activity. 2 channels on TV. There was a toy manufacturer having a convention into the hotel. He invited us kids to hang out and play with their products, Baines. We ended up eating most of our meals in the cross the street. The employees couldn't get home and were put up at a hotel besides a restaurant.
Is that Nicaea?
Who
is it? I don't know.
I was so focused on that damn voice.
Oh my god, a couple of pillows. Now I get it. Yeah. Oh, jeez.
I said Nicaea, what the fuck?
I don't know. I was like, Ozo knew it right away. I was like looking back, and I looked back too far. I just had to look back half an hour ago. We were talking about That's great.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, we need to bring that character back.
No.
That takes me back to my pre-teen. Anyway, yeah.
All right.
So, Whirlwind.
Whirlwind. It's my turn. Okay, I'll just do a British accent for Whirlwind. I'm with Playmire, as I am okay with snow, as long as I'm not driving in it. I can drive in it, trial by fire, or ice rather, learning to drive in Wisconsin, but I don't want to. X. It is nice curling up in a few big fluffy blankets with hot chocolate while there's a blizzard raging outside. Part of 20 Galaxies takes place in Illinois, so there will be snow, plus snow raging outside. Part of 20 Galaxies takes place in snow, plus one of the heroes has ice powers. Snow is going on, it's a plot point in an old version of Lady Unlucky. The Luminaries are not familiar with precipitation, so some of the rebel characters act the atmosphere generators to make it snow and watch the resulting chaos. This isn't in the new version though. When you mentioned X-Men, the Blizzards, I just remembered that Genesis video game and how distracting the snow effect was in that. So if you want to check out my link, you can see that for yourself. So I advise you to do that. Check out the link and see the distracting snow. Well,
right. They made a video game out of the band Genesis with Phil Collins.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. So,
and Michael, I was going to show off by naming the other dudes, but I don't remember their names. It's the land of confusion. Okay, SAB comes back. SAB sounds like I'm saying initials. SAB.
Oh, that's awesome. Have you seen this? What is it? What am I talking about? Video game.
Oh, damn, yeah.
Cool.
What are you talking about?
Which?
The one that Whirlwind references?
Yeah. The link to it.
Yeah.
It's so cool. It's awesome. I wish I could play that game. Look for an emulator for that. Yep. That's boss. It's it's got the character Beast, who looks very much like Wolverine. And he's jumping up and down
Beast.
in the snow and doing platform stuff, smashing stuff. But the snow just in a blizzard, just going past him. Looking really awesome.
That's cool, man.
Cool.
Yeah, it looks really badass.
It does. All right, give us Easy Beat. Who had featured music this week? SAB.
Oh yeah.
I always thought it was Easy Beat. Damn it. You've opened my eyes.
I have used snow in my 2013 and 2014 holiday picks and learned that it looks best if I change the color of the lines for all snow, not just the top 1% of snow. And I've got a link to SAB Comics Presents Fusion. Otherwise, that snowman and the snow on the trees would have looked way too harsh. And glad to see the Calvin and Hobbes pick at the end of your post, Baines. My thoughts immediately went to Calvin and Hobbes as soon as I thought about snow and comics.
That is truly a comic for the millionaires and the billionaires.
It is. Yes. And for the middle class and the working class.
Oh, God. I love
it's one thing guy. We can share.
We need to bring him back. We do. I'll have to get Gumulus to write
Never dies to me, man. I'm still following his career. So I see him all the time.
Remember we had that thing Gumulus wrote us for the Drunkduck radio? We had him and Jimmy Storm having a fight together.
Right.
Yeah. That was so fun. We'll have to get Gumulus to write us a Christmas episode with those two characters.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fun.
Jimmy Storm, bringing the blizzard.
Oh, I forgot all about that. Oh,
yeah,
that was fun,
you were part of it.
Yeah, have a look some more. I told you, dude, I have no memory. I'm the bastard of memories.
Yeah, you can't even remember your own comic. You have to read back through it to know where you are in Featured Me.
Yeah, even that doesn't work, man. Like,
We could just
there's
make
so
up
like I was
pages.
reading through it the other day. There's so many inconsistencies, and I'm like,
Remember
It's on
that
purpose.
Blizzard episode
It's on
in Picture
purpose.
with Me? That was pretty cool. When you had Santa.
That was
but
great.
What you
Yeah, it
did
was
to
amazing.
Santa, that was bad. I mean, kids aren't going to like that bit. What Bones did to him. Evil stuff. You remember that, of course. Yeah?
I never did that, but I might. Yeah, I might do. Actually, Lobo already did it.
Oh, yeah.
Lobo did it.
Lobo did it first.
Ah, damn it, he's been there before us every time.
I believe in
Lobo's
Santa Claus.
Simpsons to my South Park, man. Like, I think of an idea. Oh, Lobo did it.
Because South Park had the episode The Simpsons did it first, or The Simpsons already did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've done everything now.
Yeah.
Simpsons has been there before everyone and everything. Because they've done... How many seasons have they done?
They're still going,
Hmm.
man. Like tons, son.
Yeah, way more than we're interested in.
How long have they been on the air? Like 25 years now?
Probably about 30.
I think they started at the end of the 80s or something like that.
Oh my god. And it doesn't
And like
snow in there.
22, 23, 24 episodes every season.
Wow.
So it's crazy. It's like pushing 500 episodes.
And there's only one episode with snow.
Just the one. Just Mr. Plow. That's it. So I have a couple favorite stories that came to my mind. A novel and a couple of comic stories that are really memorable, and I read them like so long ago, but they stay with me. One was an X-Men story, a solo adventure with Wolverine way back in the day. There's this little girl, and she's with her family at a mall, and she gets lost or something like that. She gets off track. I think she's chasing her dog or cat who ran away, and she encounters Wolverine at the beginning of the story. And Wolverine is like almost dead. He's like been attacked by this group of like killers and stuff like that. And he's like gone back to his feral state. So it's him and this little girl, and they're like avoiding these killers. It's all takes place in a blizzard. Very cool. And there's another story about a blizzard where it's a Spider-Man story, and he is after these criminals, probably bank robbers or whatever they are. Somebody shot somebody or something, but he's chasing them. And as he's trying to, I think they kidnapped someone too. There's a kid in that one, if I remember. And he is trying to save the kid, stop them. And meanwhile, there's some kind of creature, like a Wendigo, in the blizzard. It's like stalking New York. It's very cool, short little story, pretty scary. The book, it's mostly scary stuff where snow really works and it makes things like claustrophobic. And I think used books Dolly Parton mentioned that it like makes things dangerous. A dangerous feeling to it. That's usually the book Ghost Story. Also, the final act of that book. There's a gigantic snowstorm, and as the survivors go to fight back against this being that's haunting the small town, they have to make their way through this like massive snowfall, and it's pretty cool. It makes everything scarier.
Okay.
The final one is Calvin and Hobbes and his amazing snowmen. He'd make those like horrific snowmen that would like terrify his parents and everything. Like,
yeah, that's right.
That always made me laugh.
I love those because they always contain great commentary on art as well and the nature of like fine art. So it was amazing. They had so much balls to make those kind of comments on fine art because that was all sculpture that he was doing. And
right.
Wasn't just a comedic thing. It was actually he was philosophizing about it, which is
right.
Really out of character for Calvin.
Well, I don't know about that. He was pretty philosophical.
Yeah, he's always
Well,
that's like what the comic is.
It was philosophy on the nature of popular fine art. It was just that, rather than
right, rather than
normal random crap, everything. It wasn't
specifically
general.
on fine art, not about life or not about
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which I like.
Things
But
in general.
I
He's a philosophical kid, though. Not Tiger. No, he's philosophical.
The only Snow comics that I can really think of are, of course, Calvin and Hobbes, like you said, and Asterix.
Peanuts? Oh,
No,
Asterix.
I can't remember the Peanuts one, but Asterix and Obelix have this adventure in the snow when they get captured by Vikings. And that was shocking because all through reading Asterix and Obelix, you always sort of think in the back of your head that they're sort of Viking characters because they got horned helmets and wings and everything and all that. But then you have real Vikings, and the real Vikings actually capture them and take them away, with huge fur capes and all this stuff. And it's like, oh my God, it's the reality of that kind of, life, Bronze Age life they're depicting as, or Iron Age life they're depicting as suddenly come crushing down on Asterix and Obelix because they're being overpowered by bigger, fiercer warriors than they are. And it was quite a weird thing for me to read that back in the day because, actual Vikings came and
Right.
took them away.
And the winter aspect of it added to it.
Yeah, it was striking
Somewhat.
because it showed the fierce Norse warriors, with their fur capes and the blizzard blowing through it. And it was such a cool image, which it was really typically that Viking image, and adding an extra dimension to the whole Asterix and Obelix world, which is very comical and bright and sunny looking. So it's suddenly no longer summer. It's
It's cool. Yeah.
people are trapped in the white. Well, that's the only comic stuff I can really think of. What about you, Pip, with your Snow World? Have you ever read...
Like what kind of comics can I think of?
Or anything.
Snow exists. Here.
Think about,
What?
I'm trying to think of comics.
Well, that's a
that haven't
bombshell.
already used.
think about...
Because I mean, the first thing to come to your mind is Calvin and Hobbes. So we talked about that already, but
Right.
we've done some Snow and Brave Resistance, but I've never had it coming down really that I can remember. But this has been that was still kind of to do as a project where two people share the art. So we have these backgrounds that have snow on them, right? But since I'm not the person who applies the color to the backgrounds, sometimes, and this is where I get it could be kind of hard to tell where things are in a picture that you draw when they're buried in snow.
Okay.
Like certain things, so it's like, I don't know, man, like it's not too hard. Like I got to just basically leave a lot of things blank, but you still have to include like, there's a difference. I see I'm rambling now. I can't come up with a very concise
That's all right.
thing.
It's okay.
I'll think of it after the cast when it doesn't matter anymore.
One fantastic comic.
You draw icicles? You have icicles where you live?
Icicles, that's something.
We do. We have icicles.
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 Cool. I like icicles.
I'm going to have to put those in my...
We have lakefront snow.
I couldn't even understand that.
One fantastic image I remember seeing was there was this great picture of Judge Dredd on his big motorbike thing in a snow scene, but doing a whole Santa thing. I found that was some kind of Christmas cardy kind of thing, and I found that such a charming kind of image from back in the day. It really made me want to read Judge Dredd. It was so that character. I'm going to have to look that up. It's a famous picture.
Yeah, I imagine they've had some pretty festive one-off comics. I remember they did this one. It had to do with, maybe this was it. I just don't remember that exact picture. But they had like this parody of Christmas Carol, kind of. But of course, it all goes completely wrong in the end. And,
Yeah.
Ebenezer Scrooge is served up to the Crashets to eat instead of a turkey at the end. He's starving mutants or something in the outlands, and like they get to eat them in the end for sustenance or something like that.
Oh god. I cannot find this picture. Oh well. Damn it. I'm sure it exists somewhere in the world. Yeah, snow is an interesting thing for comics. The other thing I was thinking about using it for is, you know how you guys were saying that the sky can disappear, and people can disappear if they're only like a few feet away, can't they? Almost like fog. So you can have people blurred right out. So that's an interesting thing. So you could do a whole lot of like layered background stuff without having to actually draw the stuff in the background, because it's just blobby, blurry shapes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of artistic.
You can, and you can really cover up a lot. I remember back when I used to have to walk through Chicago in the middle of the winter, and sometimes it'd be snowing and stuff on my way to and from school and stuff, and even being down so close to the heart of the city, use whole buildings as the front comes in, man. Like you can look maybe from 5 blocks away, you can look down and completely just not see buildings or tops of buildings that were there before. So a whole landscape could change. So maybe you can use that somehow. I don't know, like a city or something all of a sudden appears or disappears, and like.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, there's a hell of a lot of things that I just don't ever experience. So it's new to me. I don't automatically think about it in those ways. It's a totally artificial thing for me to think in those terms. So it's interesting because it's just that does not happen here. But, I want to be able to use that, so I'll have to remember. But it's not instinctual for me. I have not got that,
like the reference for it and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I can't reference those in my head, whereas you guys can just sort of easily.
You kind of just, exactly. You kind of just absorbed what it looks like just by living in it for your whole life or part of your life or whatever. So
we could tell a good snowfall from a bad snowfall. We can tell if somebody's lying about the snowfall that they've betrayed.
Yeah. We Northerners have 75 different words for snow. There's no time to go into them all here, but
snow time.
Take my word for it. Snow time.
One of the weird things here is that the atmosphere is so dry that the view of the world is always infinite. You look up at the sky, it's always blue. There's rarely clouds in the sky. When you look out into the horizon, you can always see as far as the horizon is, and everything's totally clear, So it's a totally different kind of thing. Whereas in the Northern Hemisphere, in places where you have that moisture in the air, you have more kind of layers and more atmospheric perspective. And that's that's something
true.
I have to think about in different.
And you can see your breath. Yeah. It's a secret for you. I don't know if you knew that.
And that could really, add so much more dimension to your comic. I don't know if anyone has done a comic that's all totally set in the snow. That would be a weird thing, wouldn't it? Because
I'm going to do it. Calling it.
Do it. Do it.
You'll have to. Yeah.
What you said about the easy backgrounds, Pitt, in the beginning of the show, sounds good to me.
What
all of a sudden, all the comics on Drunkduck just turned to snow, like everything is now set in snow.
Yeah, this becomes like an unexpectedly influential episode.
Yeah. We're driving. We are the zeitgeist. We are the absolute drivers of fashion. But Bottomless Waitress, our first intro page of that happens sort of in an autumn kind
desert.
Of season. It's desert, but it's autumn kind of thing.
It's like a prairie, yeah.
So we could have snow there.
Maybe after we do our first issue, our first set of issues, because they happen kind of close together. Maybe if we ever did a second, if I ever get it written, our second series will suddenly take place in the snow. We'll have snow-covered tundra instead of.
That would be interesting. You'd have people covering up in coats and all this kind of stuff.
Oh, snow is tough to get by in when you're not wearing pants.
You know, Baines, you know. Geez.
Yeah, frostbite on your cheeks.
Poor guy. I mean, how many bum grafts?
All 4 of them.
Yeah, all 4 of them. Rosy cheeks.
The hospitals in Ontario are just experts at bum grafts. That's all they do.
That's right. Exactly. Oh, Lordy.
Yeah, but that is an interesting aspect because a lot of people don't live in a place where it snows. I mean, even in the States, the United States is a massive country. In California and Florida, places like that, they never see the snow.
Right. Yeah. I mean, one reason why a lot of shows, like American-made shows, you never see seasons changing, and even animated shows. Going back to the beginning when I said that Simpsons show, like the writers are like, you forget when you live in Los Angeles, you forget that like there are seasons because it's kind of like always the same.
Well, that's what they tell you.
So I don't know if that's true. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've never been there, but like constantly 72 degrees or something.
That's another weird aspect. You have stark changes in the season. So you have summer, and then everything like turns, like the leaves fall off the trees, and you have snow, which is total, absolute, massive seasonal change. Whereas, say where I live, Western Australia here, winter is rainy and grey, but there's not such a huge distinction in the season, so you're not really showing that,
right,
stark seasonal change. So it's an interesting sort of thing because when you're doing a comic with that kind of stuff, you're actually showing time passing. Often we don't really show time passing that way, but you're showing time passing in an annular kind of way. You're showing in a yearly change. There is a
an annual, annual.
Exactly.
Good word. Annual.
I'm slowly expanding your vocabulary. One at a time.
Yeah.
One at a time. Another brick in the wall for you.
Mm-hmm. Good call. Yeah.
But yeah, you're building on things in an interesting way. But in Pinky TA, where I have like this chapter set in snow, it's only set in snow because it's a regional thing. They're in a northern hemisphere. They're in a really northern kind of place where it's like that all the time. Because a comic takes so bloody long. It would take forever if I'm showing actual seasons happening. That would be terrible.
Have we talked about like passage of time in comics as a whole subject for a Quackcast before?
We never have.
I don't think we have.
That was a good one.
It is.
Yeah. You're a spring of ideas today, Baines.
Well, it came from Ozone Ocean, but yeah, thank you.
Font of ideas.
Font. Yeah. In annular font.
I don't even know if that means that. I just said it anyway because it sounds cool.
It sounded pretty good.
Annular.
Pretty good.
Annular. You'll have to look that up, people, and see what it means. Well, the famous quote
I bet it's gross.
Yeah, it probably could be. Well, the famous quote by Queen Elizabeth when she had the terrible year.
Off with their heads!
Oh, not Queen Elizabeth. Is it Queen Elizabeth? Yeah, Queen Elizabeth. She said they had their anus horribilis.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
No.
Everyone made fun of because it
That's
sounds
terrifying. What is it?
Horrible ass.
Bad.
Well, bad year, basically.
Yeah. Horrible ass.
Bad year.
Yeah.
Yeah, she ate a lot of chili that year, so. It's horribilis.
Horrid!
The hero of the horrible anus.
It was snowing, but something else. You know, the brown snow. Watch out for it. Don't slip in the brown snow.
Watch out where the huskies go, and don't you eat that yellow snow. The wisdom of Frank Zappa is maybe how we do.
I've heard of, like, you have things like black ice and, you know, different kinds of snow.
Yeah,
I do.
Black ice.
Okay, so black ice is stuff you get on the road and it's really slippery or something, or what?
Well, I buy mine from a dude downtown.
The blue stuff is definitely the good one.
The blue stuff, yeah.
You went in a different way that I was going to go with that. I was hinging on a racial joke. Then I
I
stopped.
should have let you. Oh, you're stuck.
No, don't let me.
Initially I was going to say, you don't have black guys in Australia?
No, we way too much.
Yeah, we do. Black ice is like ice on the road. I believe it's like invisible ice, glare ice, black ice, so it looks black, like the road.
Okay.
But it's like insanely slippery. It's like a really thin layer packed down and makes the driving and walking and everything really super dangerous.
Generally existing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If you get off your couch, it's dangerous.
And you have different kinds of snow too, so it's not just all fluffy, powdery, fluffy, falling snow. Some of it can be like...
Yeah, if it's moist, well, it can be really wet, like moisture, which is great snowman making snow, but it's a nightmare to shovel. It's super heavy. It can vary so much. Like it can be sort of with the crunchy layer on top that you talked about.
Yeah.
It can be
like just little shards of like glass.
Sometimes, sometimes just shards of glass. That's not a lot of fun.
Jeez.
And yeah, it's pretty weird. Locusts, once in a while, not often. But,
frogs.
Sometimes it's frogs.
You have to paint the blood of a lamb over your door.
But yeah, like the wet snow is like incredibly heavy. It's like night and day, man. Like the comparison between snow, like your snow, even if you have a snow blower or whatever, it won't. It can't, handle it. And yeah, it's crazy. A lot of wildness.
All right, so when we're drawing snow in our comics, we have to keep in mind all this stuff. There should be a reference library, for goodness sake.
And remember,
Probably
too,
is.
If your character's outside for a while, sometimes it doesn't even have to take that long, but the snow will start to build up on you as you stand out in it. So, like, think about the end
your
of The
eyebrows
Shining, that
fill up
part.
with
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It's shining.
When he's sitting there and like, yes, just then you know how to draw snow.
Yeah, it's true.
I need a whole education.
I used to go out and like wait for when I was a kid. I would go out and wait for the school bus. But if I hadn't like a shower and then ran out when my hair was still wet, like your hair freezes, that has nothing to do with snow, but just the coldness.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's enlightening stuff.
And you're afraid that like if you bend it, like you'll break your hair off. Like,
Yeah. It turns out that doesn't really happen that way.
when you went to school, did you ever get like those like out on the playground? Did you ever get like those big mounds of snow from like the
snowplows,
the snow truck? Yeah, the snowplow, and then like even after the rest would melt away, you'd have these big like by then they'd just be like ice mountains.
Yeah,
it just like hurt everybody.
Yeah, they would take forever to melt, and then you'd have these amazing things there for a long time. Awesome.
Yeah.
Going sledding. We had that this year, in fact. It's been a long time since we had that much snow. And then it rained and it all melted. It's been kind of a crazy year.
This sounds awesome.
Climate change is real. It's a fact.
It sounds incredible. I want to experience this someday soon. Maybe next year. I love the idea. Well, thank you very much for being part of the Snowcast and enlightening us poor people who live in hot climates about the wonders, the fairy tale goodness.
You poor devils. don't have to buy shovels.
Yeah.
You're so lucky.
Thank you.
You wear big boots for fashion, not to keep it dry.
Exactly. Fur hats for no point whatsoever. You never get to really experience the use of these things. It's not fair.
Yeah, it's true.
So this has been Crackhouse 301. Thank you guys for being part of the Snowcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.